Good morning, everyone. I am Reverend William Gill. Our senior minister, Reverend Jonathan, is away today, so it is my great joy and honor to lead you today in this service. Let us start our service with music and dance. Feel free to stand up and dance.
Something great is happening. Love has taken over a whole and let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, onward motion with drops in the ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream to your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts to the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Whoa. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream to the highest calling. To the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment of our greatness. Let's stand together now. Share your gifts with a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment of our greatness. Let's stand together now. Let's stand together now.
Thank you. Welcome again to Unity of Tucson, where we celebrate love. More importantly, we focus on practical applications of the teachings of the great masters. So we are here to learn how to do things better so that we can become an agent of love. As Reverend Jonathan always says, you don't have to believe anything I say, anything we do here, but I do encourage you to consider it, so that we may have a way to see the world in a way that will allow us to be agents of love in this beautiful world. Let us start our service with our vision and mission statements. We have a vision and mission statements here at Unity of Tucson as an organization. Our vision statement is how we see our world. And let's say this together, we envision a world awakened to its magnificence. Our mission statement is how we plan to get there, and let us affirm that together. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And so it is. Now I would like to extend a special welcome to anybody who's here for the first time, starting with those of you online. If you're here visiting us online for the first time, welcome. And we encourage you to go to our website and go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out the form so that we may stay in touch with you. Welcome here. If you're here in person for the first time, if you would please identify yourself by either raising your hand or standing up. Tyler is here for the first time. He's standing up. Well, nobody here for the first time. The lights are blinding me here. No? Okay. So let us remember what we tell first-time comers that we know about ourselves. And what is that?
You are magnificent.
Not you. I. Yeah? So let's try that again. I am magnificent. That sounded pretty good, but I gotta pay Jonathan respects, and let's do that again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I am magnificent. I could hear Sherry, now we're good. What does that mean to be magnificent? Seriously, because we say that every Sunday, but I know that some of us go, I don't feel too magnificent today. What does that really mean? Well, again, you may believe what works for you, but to me, for us to say that we are magnificent is to acknowledge that we have the light of the Christ within. So we can be all things that the Christ has been, because we have that within us, and that is our magnificence. Yay? Yes. So, one more time. I know they took it away, but you know it. I am magnificent. Yes, you are, and so it is. Next, we have our tradition of lighting the flames of faith. We believe here that there are many paths to the one God, and we believe that each path has its own unique way of representing the teachings that we need to know. So to honor all paths to the one God, let us do our lighting of the flames of faith. And to do that, please help me welcome Lorraine Pritz and Mirtha Nibeker.
We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we're holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. The final candle is the healing candle. It represents the revealing of the divinity at the core of all experiences. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
This candle here to my right, to your left, is our peace candle that we keep continuously illuminated to remind each one of us of the peace that is within each one of us. And when we get to know that peace, we're able to share that peace with the rest of the world. To affirm the peace that this candle represents, let us together say the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace reigns in the world, and so it is. Now to do our reading, affirmation, and prayer, please help me welcome the Reverend Sue Oliver.
So I have a reading from one of my spiritual teachers, leaders, Dr. Christian Sorensen, Reverend Dr. Christian Sorensen from Seaside CSL, and it's from the book, Our Moment of Choice, Evolutionary Visions and Hope for the Future. And it was written in 2020, and if you haven't read that, it's just amazing collection of stories at this critical juncture that we've been at by a variety of global leaders. So here's what he has to say about the point that we're at right now. What if it's not all so dire as it sounds? What if what's taking place right now is a call for a higher awareness? What if a new evolutionary story is emerging, telling of the birth of a new world? Let's soulfully activate our hearts to participate in the conscious evolution that is unfolding. Like earlier times that called for a leap in consciousness, this time is challenging each of us to wake up to a higher vision of what's possible, to live in harmony with the earth and each other. The new global story is of a collective new thought coming through each of us that binds us together in support of one another. The global heart and soul of humanity is awakening us from our apathy and ignorance. It is calling us to mindfulness so that we become more mindful of all that we see, think, and do. It's time to collectively recognize the potential in this transformative moment. It is a fertile time, and mindfulness helps us befriend the greater vision. So when spending time in mindful practices of meditation, contemplation, silence, prayer, or a stroll through nature, it is only a matter of time until our perception matches the higher frequency. We must spend time within this resonant field so we can be a more effective part of a great mobilization taking place right now. Sacred activism, passion and action is underway. It is the energy of a parent defending their child, a proactive, unstoppable birthing, a realization of the interconnectedness of all living things. And we're going to move through our monthly affirmation on transformation is the theme. I'm going to share the affirmation one time and just allow it to just simmer and sit with you, and then we'll repeat it together 2 times. I am an evolutionary transformer, living a deep and rich personal life experience. Anybody watch the movie Transformer? Imagine right now in your seat that as you're speaking this affirmation, you literally are transforming, whether you like it or not. So let's repeat this choice together. I am an evolutionary transformer, living a deep and rich personal life experience. One more time as you're transforming. I am an evolutionary transformer, living a deep and rich personal life experience.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough light and quite enough power to walk through every fear. One spirit is in this very room.
Really simply tuning in to this very presence in this very room, right here and now. Knowing that it's breathing each one of us here. It's expressing as each one of us here and well beyond, as joy, infinite love, peace, prosperity, flow, community, connection, oneness, wholeness, completeness in this very room. There is quite enough love to share, to spare, to give and receive. And so I celebrate this community, I celebrate this day, I celebrate this experience. I give great thanks, letting it all go and be perfectly unfolding. And so it is. Amen.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough love and quite enough power to open every heart. One spirit, one spirit is in this very room, in this very room, in this very room.
Thank you, Reverend Sue. It is now time for our special music, and we have a guest artist. She is from Tucson and Kansas and back to Tucson. She can do jazz, she can do vintage, she'll even do covers. Please help me welcome the great Chelsea Hicks.
Keep transformation in mind as you hear these words. Took my love and it took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills when the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, and children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I'm getting older too. So take this love and take it down. And if you climb a mountain and you turn around, and if you see reflection in the snow-covered hills. A landslide will brought me down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, maybe the landslide will bring you down.
Now we're getting serious. Thank you, Chelsea. Before I start, how are you doing temperature-wise? I see a couple of people fanning themselves. Are you okay? Okay. If you're too warm, you're not going to pay attention to me, so you got to be just right. I have 20 minutes to do a talk today, but I'm going to say one sentence that is my talk. After that, we'll fill it in. But there's one thing that really matters, and the voice that speaks to me, and yes, I do hear voices. That didn't turn out too well in my psychological examination for ministerial school, but the voice that speaks to me said, say this, that's all you need to say. And here it is. The best gift that you can give anybody in your life, the best present, the best honor that you can give anybody in your life is your own emotional well-being. We're done. Music. Talk's over. Time for music. The best gift you can give anyone in your life is your own emotional well-being. Because all of your relationships start and end with you. And your state of mind dictates how you will perceive your relationships. You cannot have peace at home if there is no peace within you. You cannot have peace at church, at work, in our communities, if there is no peace within you. So in our spiritual growth, in our spiritual evolution, it's really important that we work on ourselves first. Years ago, I studied the great teachings of Marshall Rosenberg and his work titled Nonviolent Communication. And he said one thing that at first rubbed me a little bit. He said, me first and foremost. And I thought, wait a second, that's kind of selfish. No, after years of study, I get it. Me first and foremost. Because unless I am well, nothing else in my life will be well. We have to stop blaming other people for our lack of happiness and our lack of peace. Yeah, people have certain behaviors that you may not like, but in the end, your status in that relationship depends to you and you only. And moreover, the best thing you can do to improve any relationship, home, work, church, civics, is to work on your emotional well-being first. I'm going to ask you a question, and to some of you that question might sound familiar. Are you ready to be made well? Are you ready, willing to be made well? And of course, that line comes from a story in the Christian scriptures, the Gospel according to John in chapter 5. There is a story that there's a pool out somewhere in Israel, and every once in a while the waters become stirred. And if you make it to the pool, if you were sick and you make it to the pool while the water is stirring, you will be healed. Voila. And there's this handicapped man here. The Bible says invalid, but, handicapped man sitting there on a mat. And Jesus, the Christ, comes and says to him, aren't you going to go to the water and get healed? And he said, I've been sitting here for 38 years. Does that sound familiar? And everybody tramples in front of me, and I cannot make it to the pool before the water stops stirring. So I'm still here. And Jesus, in that Jesus kind of way of doing things, says, pick up your mat and walk. Actually, he first said, are you ready to be made well? And the man said, yeah. And he said, pick up your mat and walk. Are you ready to be made well in your relationships? Yes or no? That was a question. Yes. Yes. 2 people said yes, 95 abstained. Are you ready to be made well? Yes. Yes. Okay. Until I cannot hear Sherry shouting anymore, then we're not loud enough. I mean that well. Because it all begins with us. And we are the ones that need to make up our minds to do our emotional work. And when we are made well, then our relationships will be made well. The best gift you can give anybody in your life is your own emotional well-being. Yes? Yes. Now, I get it. Sometimes there are people in our lives that can be real jerks. Get it? Been there, done that. However, some time ago, I stopped forgiving people. Ooh. Love always, forgive everything, remember who you are. Yes, but I stopped forgiving people. Rather, I started a practice of understanding. Because I found out in my spiritual practice that when I understood the reason why people in my life were behaving the way they were, most of the time I did not have to forgive anything. It's really, really important that we have a practice of understanding. Because to me, forgiveness can turn into kind of a get out of jail free card. And I got tired of giving away get out of jail free cards. So I had to find another solution, and my solution was to work on understanding. My practice of forgiveness has been replaced with a practice of understanding. Why are people doing what they are doing? I believe that when you get to the bottom of the reason for the behaviors of people in your life, there will be very little left to forgive. In fact, each one of us, without exception, each one of us is 24/7 in the pursuit of the fulfillment of our needs. Everything you do, you are doing because you have a need that needs to be met. And so is everybody else. So when people are being real jerks in your life, to you it feels like they're being real jerks. But to them, they're only doing what they need to do to fulfill a need that has gone unmet. So another tool that I've learned to use in not forgiving people anymore, but rather understanding people's behavior is when anybody is misbehaving in my life, once I can recover from that initial reaction that we all have, I look at them in the eye and I say, what can I do for you? Most of the time, ill behaviors are ways, side ways of fulfilling our unmet needs. And we just don't know how to say it. We don't know how to say, this is what I need. So if somebody's having difficulty telling me this is what I need, I help them. Hey, how can I help you? And a lot of the times that has diffused discord in the relationships in my life. So replace your practice of forgiveness with a practice of understanding. And learn how to get to the bottom of the reason for the behavior of the people in your life. Yes? Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, had a great thing to say about forgiveness. And let's see that right there. It is through forgiveness that true spiritual healing is accomplished. Forgiveness removes the errors of the mind, and body harmony results in consonance with divine law. That's in the Revealing Word, which is a dictionary of metaphysical terms compiled by Charles Fillmore. When I read that, I hear that forgiveness is healing. So I believe that we will find healing in our practice of forgiveness. Or better yet, we will find healing in our practice of understanding. Because when we understand what's going on and the discord comes down, that is a way to find healing within ourselves. Have a practice of understanding that becomes a practice of healing. You will be amazed, even though the books say it and you read it, but you don't quite believe it. I know you don't. You will be amazed how much emotional well-being will heal the cells in your body. You will be amazed how much feeling well inside emotionally leads to being well inside physiologically. And so forgiveness is healing. And instead of forgiving, work on understanding the reasons for what's going on. Now, I know what you might be thinking. William, we are at a church. Spiritual center. William, we are at a spiritual center, and you haven't said one word about God. You will find God within your spiritual well-being. You will find God within your emotional well-being. Every faith tradition of the world says that. Now, when you're not feeling well, I get it. Somebody passed away that you love, or you are dealing with a physiological illness. I get it. This life has inconveniences. However, I also believe that your emotional well-being will be a great ingredient towards the healing of your life. So I'm taking this music theory course in preparation for a goal that I will achieve sometime in the future. And I'm studying about, dominant seventh chords and diatonic triads and Roman numeral analysis. And, I dig that stuff because I like technical things. But I'm reading all this stuff and I'm going, wait a second. What makes music be music is that it feels good. Like, I feel good. No. I knew that I would. Sorry. Got possessed there by a minute by James Brown. But really, seriously, I'm studying this course, and I'm thinking, this is all nice and dandy, but what makes music be music is how it feels. When we go buy an album, well, when we used to buy albums, now we are streaming junkies, but if you stream a song or you buy an album, you don't buy it because it's got dominant seventh chords that go on to ninth chords. You buy it because it feels good. The same is true about our spirituality. We should read the books, we should come to service, we should take the classes, including my class that starts Saturday. I hope to see you there. We should do all of that, but in the end, your spiritual goal is to have that well-being inside of you. Spirituality, the techniques are good, but the real spirituality is that it feels good, like good music. It feels good. So back to my statement earlier that the best gift that you can give anybody in your life is your own emotional well-being. I'm going to take that a step further. The best gift you can give yourself is your own emotional well-being. And the quest for your own emotional well-being is a healing practice. Because that is where healing is, and that is where God is. Within yourself, in your own emotional well-being. Yes? Yes. Okay. So, 3 topics I covered today. Number 1, the best gift you can give anyone in your life is your own emotional well-being. Number 2, I invite you to replace your practice of forgiveness with a practice of understanding. Find out why people are behaving the way they do. And finally, you will find God within yourself. And the more that's good grammar, the more you are within, the closer you will be to feeling that presence of God. So now it's time for homework. I'm a teacher, I give homework. However, I'm going to ask you, and this will be on the recording that I did ask you, I'm going to ask you, before you raise an eyebrow at me, hear me out. Okay? Your homework this week is to go home and make love. Your homework this week is to go home and make love, whatever that looks like to you. Whether that is sex or emotional intimacy or just an activity that brings you joy, to me, to make love means to cultivate the feeling of love within myself. I'm going to say that again. To make love is to cultivate the feeling of love within yourself. So go home this week and do lots of things, whatever that is for you, that cultivate the feeling of love within yourself. And as you will feel well, and as you will feel better and better and better, you will have an easier and easier time sharing that feeling of goodness with the people in your life. And you'll be amazed how much things stop bothering you because you'll understand what's going on. The best gift you can give to anyone in your life is your own emotional well-being. And I, Reverend William Gill, in front of you, pledge to continue to do my work so that I will be better and better emotionally within, and I will share my well-being with you as well. I bless you.
the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
God, thank you, Spirit of God, for in the silence I find you. With you I become well, and my wellness I share with the world. Thank you, God, for your love that never ever ends and is always present and available in my life each and every day. And so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find God, I find myself.
Thank you, Erin. It is now time for our offertory, and to lead us in that, please help me welcome the President of our Board of Directors, Mr. William Summers.
Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, William.
Is this working now? Yes. So listening to your talk this morning reminded me a little bit of what I wanted to talk about, because you're saying a lot of serious things, and I take that to heart. And people here have heard me come up and open my heart up, get very emotional sometimes, and that's great. That wouldn't be enough to make me come back next Sunday. What you did during your talk was you broke that up with some fun things. And that's kind of like the icing on the cake for me. So, like, I come in on Sunday mornings and people smile as they come in and greet me, a handshake, a hug, fun. I listen to the music, fun. I have some chocolate chip cookies and some interesting conversation after service, fun. Reverend Jonathan talks, sometimes fun. I'm getting you in trouble with him, but that's the thing, you know, we can come and poke at Sherry and it's fun. If it was all just serious, this would be a pretty dreary spiritual practice.
Yes.
So one of the reasons I support Unity, besides all the great spiritual growth, is I have a lot of fun here.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you'd like to support Unity, we have several ways. One of them, you can text Unity Tucson to 73256. You can aim your phone at the QR code up there. If you're online, there's an icon should appear that you can click. You can write a check, cash, put it in the basket, stop at the bookstore, all kinds of ways that you can support us and have lots of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, William.
I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Bring it down. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself.
To bless our offering, please help me welcome the Reverend Felicia Searcy.
Thank you, William. So, as we just feel the energy emanating off of these amazing financial gifts, knowing that they were given and loved and received in love and are truly just a reflection of our natural state of abundance, and the money is the transmission of physical support and energetic support for this community as we then wrap our arms around our world community and be the peace, be the love, be the joy that the world is asking for. So together, let's just get some energy going and directed toward this, these amazing ushers and the money in the baskets. And together, let's say our affirmation. We bless these gifts, and we see these gifts going out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Felicia. Let us see what announcements we have for this Sunday.
It's Sunday, October 15th, 2023, and here's what's happening at Unity of Tucson. If you haven't already done so, now is the time to purchase tickets to Unity of Tucson's Gratitude Gala. Ticket sales end October 24th. That's just 2 weeks away. You don't want to miss this night full of fun, friends, great food, shopping, and fabulous entertainment. Ride sharing will be available for those who need it. Purchase your tickets today and come be part of a joyful evening under the stars. It's that time of year again. Unity of Tucson's Fall Renewal Series will begin on Sunday, October 22nd, and you are invited to participate. This year, we will be discussing the book, The 5 Principles by Ellen Debenport. Study groups are forming now, so don't wait as attendance will be limited. Look for more information in the foyer. Join us this Wednesday, October 18th for Soul Flow, a night of gentle vinyasa yoga followed by expressive free-form dance. Oscar Rodriguez and Sherry Hoffman guide you through the practice beginning at 6:30 p.m. Soul Flow is offered on a suggested $10 love offering basis. Unity of Tucson is actively collecting photos highlighting our community taken by anyone participating in activities here at Unity of Tucson. Do you have any photos on your smartphone? You can upload them directly to us using the convenient QR code provided in the foyer. Unity of Tucson will be sure to ask permission from anyone identified in the photos prior to sharing them publicly. Please join Unity of Tucson as we gather to fight hunger here in Tucson. It's time to move our feet for the Crop Hunger Walk, Sunday, November 5th. Please see Joyce Hawley in Harmony Hall for more details and to sign up to be a walker, a sponsor, or both. Let's move our feet and end hunger locally and throughout the world. Join the Blanket Brigade. Unity of Tucson is collecting blankets and sleeping bags in anticipation of the cold nights that are on the horizon. The collection will be delivered to Sister Jose's shelter for distribution to those in need. We will be collecting now through November 12th. You can find out more about all our events, classes, and other offerings in the Desert Light Book and Gift Store or online at unitytucson.com. Have an amazing and magnificent week.
Also, we have our prayer chaplains today. Our prayer chaplains are Nancy Bevins. Where are you? Please stand. And she might wear a stole to show us who she is, but there she is. And Mirtha Neverker. Mirtha, there she is. So those are our prayer chaplains today, and I invite you after the service to seek them out for a moment of prayer, and they will be sitting here on separate sides of the house. It is time for me to express my great gratitude to everybody that has made this service possible. This service is really a collective effort of many people. I'd like to start with our tech booth. We have Fabian, Rowan, Jim, Kyle, and Don. Thank you. Our meditation leader, and she probably did not know it, but she delivered an on-spot meditation for my talk today, Reverend Felicia Searcy. The lighters of the Flames of Faith, Lorraine Pritz and Mirtha Neverker. Where is Lorraine? There you are. Our reader today, the Reverend Sue Oliver. Our offertory speakers, Mr. William Summers and Reverend Felicia Searcy. And I have to express my great gratitude to our guest artist, Chelsea Hicks. Thank you for blessing us today. And of course, very close to my heart, our amazing band, our music director, Linda Ackerman on piano. Rafael Carruthers on bass. Paul Gibson on drums. And Erin Anderson on vocals. I would also like to give my gratitude to the other teams that support our service, like the greeters, ushers, the youth department, and our hospitality team. Thank you so much. And finally, I have to say thank you to my beautiful, wonderful wife, Silvana, who's not here today because she stayed home taking care of our new 9-week-old, 4-legged babies. And so, excuse me for a second, obrigado, mi amor. Now, I am looking for children that I do not see. Oh, they are not. Tyler, would you check on the children really quick? Okay? We'll just take 1 second. If they are not here, then we'll wrap it up. Jessica says she would come right after the thank yous. Anybody know any jokes? Sure you can. Okay, so instead, let us close this service by saying the prayer of divine, I'm having a blank, awareness. Let us together say the prayer for divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Let us finish our service with music and dance, and feel free to stand up and dance.
Are you guys ready to feel good? I was thinking about it. I think I'm ready. How about you guys? Feel good. Whoops. I knew that I would now. I feel good. Oh, I knew that I would now. So good, so good. I got you. Well, I feel nice. Yeah. Sugar and spice. Well, I feel nice. Hey, sugar and spice. So nice, so nice. I got you. When I hold you in my arms, yeah, know that I could do no wrong. And when I hold you in my arms, my love can't do you no harm. 'Cause I feel nice, sugar and spice. Well, I feel nice, hey, sugar and spice. So nice, so nice. I got you. Well, and I feel good. Now I feel when I hold you in my arms. Well, I know that I can do no wrong. When I hold you in my arms, my love can't do you no harm. And I feel nice, sugar and spice. Well, I feel nice, hey, sugar and spice. Hey. So nice, so nice. I got you. Well, I feel good. Hey, I knew that I would now. Hey, I feel good. Hey, I knew that I would now. So good, so good. I got you. So good, so good. I got you. Hey, so good, so good. I got you. Hey!
Have a great Sunday, everybody. You are magnificent.